Hi, Tyler. Mr. Chapman here. I wanted to follow up with you on your comment, and I found this article about third-party candidates, and I think in many ways you were right, and I was wrong, and I was right in a certain way, and I think that's what kind of clouded my judgment and made me make the blanket statement that I did. But I just want to push along this link to you, and I want you to read it because I think it would be it was helpful for me, and I think it'll be helpful for you too. So this is from August 11th, 2020, so it's fairly recent, and this is from the USA Today, and it says that fact check third-party candidates have hampered both Republicans and Democrats. And so what I like about the article is that they set up the reader by saying the claim third-party votes only siphoned from Democrats, and that's the claim that I was making in class, and they go into talking about the influence of somebody like a Kanye West in 2020, and they conclude that um, you know it's voters that vote third party aren't always taking votes away from Democrats. They take votes away from both people. Okay, so the one thing that was influencing my answer to you, I just got to find out it. Okay, so they talk about this part of the article, the recent third party impact, and they reference the 2000 election. And this is what made me make the statement that I made. So in 2000, Ralph Nader's presence pulled votes that would have pushed Florida and ultimately the entire presidency in favor of Al Gore instead of George W. Bush. And so it says in the 2016 election, voters who backed Johnson or Jill Stein, I forgot she was also in the election back in, sorry. So in 2016, voters who backed Johnson or Stein would have leaned toward Trump if forced to choose in a two-way race, according to a survey by YouGov. Okay. And so if you look at the numbers in 2016, so if they voted for Johnson or Stein, 34%, if they had to vote for either one of the two major party candidates, they would 34% would have voted for Trump, 25% would have voted for Clinton. Okay, so in 2016, yes, the libertarians probably would have leaned toward Trump if they had to pick a major party candidate. Then if I scroll down here, now here's this is what made me answer the way I did to you. So Ralph Nader in 2000 is the best example of a third party impact given the historically tiny margin deciding that election. I had totally forgotten that Florida's vote total went for George W. Bush by only 537 votes. I thought it was 1,000. I didn't realize it was that low. Um, I knew it was low, but that's really low. So if you look at the amount of votes that Nader got, it says here he got almost 100,000 votes in Florida. And national exit polling showed Nader voters. So if you voted for Nader in Florida or you voted for Nader around the country, Nader voters would have chosen Gore 47% over Bush 21% in a two-man race. So if you go back and you look at the margin of a Bush victory of 537 votes, and then you see, wow, Nader gets 100,000 votes in Florida. Do you think if Nader's missing from the race, is it plausible that Gore would have found 500 or 600, 700, 800 votes out of all of these nearly 100,000? He most assuredly would have. And um, that is the example that made me say what I said. So I think this is it's a really a good article just to sort of fact check everything that's being said about third party candidates. And then if you remember in the class, I referenced the highest polling third party candidate in recent history. There was a guy named Ross Perot. So he ran in 92 and 96. I think I just referenced 96. I forgot he ran in 92. And he drew support from both parties. And but this particular study found that 36% of Perot voters would have backed George H.W. Bush in 92 if Ross Perot was not in the race, and 44% would have supported Bill Clinton. Okay, so it's kind of all over the map, but the best example of a third party candidate causing some disruption in the election would be Ralph Nader in 2000. But Gary Johnson and Jill Stein did not have that similar effect. Okay, so hopefully this clears it up. I didn't like my answer to you, and I could tell that you weren't buying my answer. So I'm glad that I was able to find this and try to bring some clarity to this. It helped me. I hope it helps you.